कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पतः शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति योऽग्निरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्निरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असो वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां देवा प्रत्येव तिष्ठति राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय गुरवे श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते। विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व सा ईश्वरा। अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयम् इति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व सा ईश्वरा। अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष सा ईश्वरा। हरिः ओम् तत्सत् श्री सा ईश्वरार्पणमस्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
गजवदना गणनाथा शीतलचरणं कोमलचरणं मञ्जुळचरणं मम गुरुचरणं
కనుక ఈనాడు మనము ఏ విధంగా నడుచుకోవాలనేటువంటిది జీవితంలో చాలా కొత్తగా మనము నూతనమైనటువంటి యొక్క చాప్టర్గా తీసుకోవాలి.
So we should start a new chapter and learn how to live hereafter.
పాస్ట్ ఇస్ పాస్ట్, జరిగిపోయింది.
Past is past beyond recovery.
తిరిగి ఎంత ప్రయత్నం చేసినా అది ముందుకు రాదు.
In spite of all efforts, you cannot regain it.
ఫ్యూచర్ నీవు యోచన చేయకండి.
Future is uncertain.
కానీ ఫ్యూచర్ ఇస్ నాట్ షూర్.
Future is not certain.
కానీ ప్రెజెంట్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్.
But present is very important.
దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఆర్డినరీ ప్రెజెంట్.
It is not ordinary present.
ఆమ్ని ప్రెజెంట్.
This is omnipresent.
ఎందువల్ల?
Why?
ఈనాడు మానవుడు అనేక దుఃఖములకు అశాంతికి గురి కావడానికి కారణం ఏమిటి?
What is the reason for the misery of mankind today?
ప్రెజెంట్ ను మర్చిపోతున్నాడు, పాస్ట్ ఫ్యూచర్ ను వెతుక్కుంటున్నాడు.
He has forgotten the present. He broods over the past and worried of the future.
ప్రెజెంట్ ఇప్పుడు మనకు ప్రధానం, కానీ
The present is important.
ఆకలేసినప్పుడు తక్కలో ఉన్నటువంటి అన్నాన్ని భుజించు.
When you are hungry, start eating the food served on the plate.
10 నెలల కిందట మా ఇంట్లో పండగ చేసింది. ఆ పండుగలో పంచపక్ష పరమాణులు ఉన్నాయి. దాన్ని తలుచుకొని ప్రయోజనం ఎందుకు?
What is the fun of thinking of a grand feast that you had enjoyed 10 months ago?
కనుక 10 దినముల ముందుగా జరిగిపోయినటువంటి నీవు యోచించద్దు.
Don't think of the past.
ప్రెజెంట్ నీవు యోచించు.
Think of the present.
పాస్ట్ ట్రీ,
Past is a tree.
ఫ్యూచర్ ట్రీ,
Future is also a tree.
ప్రెజెంట్ ఇస్ సీడ్.
Present is the seed.
ఆ పాస్ట్ ట్రీ నుంచి ప్రెజెంట్ సీడ్ వచ్చింది.
Out of the past tree, you have the present seed.
ప్రెజెంట్ సీడ్ నుంచి ఫ్యూచర్ ట్రీ వస్తుంది.
Out of the present seed, you have the future tree.
సీడ్ ఈజ్ వెరీ 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 వెరీ
So
ఇంపార్టెంట్.
seed is very, very important.
ఆ సీడ్ ప్రెజెంట్ లో మీరు తగినటువంటి శాంతిని పొందాలి.
Therefore, you should take care of the present seed and it
ఫ్యూచర్
take peace.
ఏమాత్రం మీరు తలంచకండి.
Don't be bothered with the future. Never be
ప్రెజెంట్ లో
worried.
మనం మంచిగా ఉంటే ఫ్యూచర్ ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మనకు మంచిదే వస్తుంది.
If you are good in the present, in future you will be good.
కనుకనే ఫ్యూచర్ ని యోచన చేసుకుంటూ పోవద్దు.
So don't be worried of the
నా
future.
ఫ్యూచర్ ఏమవుతుందో, నా ఫ్యూచర్ ఏమవుతుందో, నా ఫ్యూచర్ ఏమవుతుందో, ఇది ఒక సైకలాజికల్ గా నిజంగా దుఃఖమే ఏర్పడిపోతుంది.
People go on worrying. They are highly agitated. They are bothered of their future, what's going to
దీన్ని
happen.
చింతనే చేయకూడదు.
Don't bother about it.
ఎందుకు వరీ చేయాలి?
Why should you
వాట్
worry?
ఈస్ ది షేప్ ఆఫ్ వరీ?
What is the shape of worry?
ఇట్ ఈస్ మెంటల్ క్రియేటెడ్ ఫియర్ ఓన్లీ.
Worry means mentally created fear only.
ఈ వరీకి ఏమాత్రం రూపం లేదు.
Worry has no form.
నీవు క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటున్నావు.
It is only your creation.
కాబట్టి అలాంటి ఒక దీనికి నీవు అవకాశం ఇవ్వకూడదు.
Never give scope for such worry.
ఈ విధంగా ఉంటుండి ఎప్పుడు చూసినా కూడా నువ్వు ఆనందంగా ఉంటుండండి.
Be happy all the time.
మాకు ఎంత స్వామి ఇంటిలో అనేక చిక్కులు ఉంటాయి, మాకు అనేక బాధలు ఉంటున్నాయి, సంసారంలో చాలా వ్యతలు ఉంటున్నాయి, మేము ఎంత సుఖంగా ఉండడానికి వీలవుతుందంటారు.
You may say, Swami, how is it possible to be happy all the time? We have got our own problems, our own worries there.
పోనీ వరి చేస్తే మన ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ పోతున్నాయా?
Is worry a solution to a problem?
పోవటం లేదే.
No.
కనుక ఎందుకు వరి చేసి
Then
ప్రయోజనం
why
ఏంటి?
should you worry? What is the fun of it?
హ్యాపీగా ఉండు.
Be happy now.
ఈ హ్యాపీనెస్ నీ వరిని దూరం చేస్తుంది.
And this happiness will keep you that worry far off.
అంతేగాని వరి చేసుకుంటూ కూర్చుంటే వరి ఇంకా ప్లస్ 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 అవుతుంది.
Because this worry will add to your problem more and more.
కనుక నీ వరి చేయకూడదు.
Never worry.
ఏదొచ్చినా కానీ ఇది భగవత్ ప్రసాదం.
Take it as God's gift, whatever may happen.
ఈ కష్టములు కూడా నువ్వు భగవత్ ప్రసాదమే.
Even the difficulties are
There
God's
is an
gift.
interval between two pains.
The pleasure is an interval between two pains.
కనుక ఈ రెండు కష్టముల మధ్యలోనే ఒక సుఖం ఉంటుండాలి.
And there lies the happiness. In
కష్టములే
between.
లేకపోతే సుఖం యొక్క విలువనే మనకు తెలియదు.
Without a pain, you cannot know the value of a pleasure.
చీకటే లేకపోతే వెలుగు యొక్క ప్రకాశమే మనకు తెలియదు.
Without darkness, you cannot know the value of
కాబట్టి
light.
కష్టములు కూడా ఒక ప్రసాదమే.
Therefore, difficulties are also God's gift.
మలేరియా జ్వరం వచ్చినటువంటి వారికి
The one who suffered from malaria,
విటమిన్ మిక్సర్ ఇస్తారు.
they are given quinine mixture.
బిట్టర్గా ఉంటుంది.
It's so bitter.
కానీ
But
ఆ బిటర్ నీవు కష్టపడి తాగినప్పుడే ఈ మలేరియా ఫీవర్ నివారణ అయిపోతుంది.
then once you accept and take that medicine, bitter quinine, you will be cured of the malaria.
మెడిసిన్ కూడా నువ్వు తీయగా ఉండాలని కోరితే నీ బాధ నీకు నివారణ కాదు.
You cannot demand that medicine should be sweet.
కనుక కష్టం కూడా నువ్వు మనకు సుఖాన్ని అందిస్తుంది.
The difficulty also gives you joy later.
కనుక ఎప్పుడు నీవు జాయిగా ఉండాలి.
You should be joyful all the time.
అప్పుడే నీ యొక్క జీవితము మంచి ఆనందాన్ని ఆదర్శాన్ని అందిస్తుంది.
And then your life will be blissful and set an ideal to the rest.
యువకులారా,
Youngsters,
శరీర సంబంధమైనటువంటి విషయాలు కానీ,
either physical matter
ఫ్యూచర్ యొక్క విషయాలు కానీ,
or the future
కుటుంబం
situation
యొక్క విషయాలు కానీ,
or that of the
ఇది
Bible,
ఏమాత్రం కూడా నువ్వు హృదయంలో చోటివ్వకండి.
don't entertain them in your heart.
హృదయంలో చోటు ఇవ్వవలసింది ఒక్కదానికే, భగవంతునికి మాత్రమే ఇవ్వాలి.
You should give place to God only in your heart, none else.
మిగిలినవన్నీ కూడా బయట ఆర్ట్స్ అంతా
Outside you have the art.
ఆర్ట్ అంతా అవుట్ సైడ్ ఉంది,
Art is outside.
హార్ట్ అంతా ఇన్సైడ్ ఉంది.
Heart is inside.
కాబట్టి ఆర్ట్ అంతా హార్ట్ నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటివే.
So all the art outside has come out of the heart inside.
కనుక మొట్టమొదటి నీవు ఆర్ట్ చూసుకో.
So think of the heart first.
ఆర్ట్ చూడద్దు.
Don't follow the art.
ఆ ఆర్ట్ లోపల నీవు మంచి ఆనందాన్ని పొందుతుంటే ఆర్ట్ కూడా ఆనందాన్ని ఇస్తుంది.
When once you think of this heart, even the art outside will make you joy.
ఇన్నర్ బీయింగ్.
Everything is the reflection of the inner being.
లోపల నీవు ఆనందంగా ఉంటే బయట కూడా ఆనందంగా వస్తుంది.
If you are happy within, you will be happy in the exterior.
ఎందుకోసం భగవంతుడు నా వెంటనే ఉన్నాడు,
Because God is with
నా
me.
హృదయం నందే
He is
ఉంటున్నాడు
in my heart.
అనేటువంటి విశ్వాసాన్ని మనం పెంచుకోవాలి.
We should strengthen such sort of faith.
అప్పుడే మనకు తగినటువంటి యొక్క ఉత్సాహ ప్రోత్సాహాలు మనకు అభివృద్ధి అవుతుంటాయి.
Then we'll have all the kind of zeal and enthusiasm.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, distinguished guests, friends, Bal Vikas children, you're all warmly welcome. Jai Sai Ram. On behalf of all of the science centers in Region 5, it gives me immense joy in welcoming you all to the program today. The Sri Satya Sai Aradhana Mahotsavam offers us all an opportunity to reflect on Swami's teachings and also to ask ourselves how much we've been able to put into practice. Today, we have a wonderful program for you with items from Bal Vikas children in Warrington Science Center, Bradford Science Center. We have an offering from our young adults and also the wonderful Bhajans from across the Region 5. It's a unique opportunity also to hear the experiences from our guest speaker, Brother Gunaranjan Bose, and offerings from in the form of droplets of love from Brother Kantilal Mistry and Brother Bharatkumar Sisodia. Swami reminds us that selfless service is the highest form of spiritual sadhana. So keeping that in mind, we decided to collect tracksuits and rucksacks donated by our devotees from across the region and support the Barnabas charity in Manchester, who are dedicated in helping the homeless. I'd like to now cover a few housekeeping points. If you hear a fire alarm today, it is not a drill. It'll be real, and you need to leave the main hall through the doors you came, but also there are 2 fire exit doors on the left. Please go through those doors and assemble in the main car park until you receive further instructions. Please continue to maintain silence in the hall, since this is really a mandir for us today. Speak very softly when you need to. Keep your phones on silent. And our media team, as you probably noticed, are live streaming the program today. So we need to always keep that in mind. Toilet facilities are available as you leave through the doors, turn right, and you'll find them on the left-hand side. At the same time, there's an entry door to the mandir on the right when you leave the hallway. Please be sensitive and keep silence in that region of the hall. Finally, I'd like to invite our MCs of the day, Shanti Permar from Warrington Science Center and Shriya Sisodia from Greater Manchester Science Center. I think they're going to do a wonderful job for us and keep us entertained at the same time. So I'd like to turn it over to our MCs and Jai Sai Ram.
Respected elders, brothers and sisters, Jai Sai Ram. My name is Shanti and this is Shri, and we'll be your MCs for today.
Salam everyone. We have a beautiful collections for Swami on this auspicious occasion of Aradhana Mahotsavam, including prayers, Bal Vikas offerings, guest speakers, and a melodious musical from our regional young adults group.
That's right, Shri, I can't wait. But first, let's remind ourselves of the significance of this day. What is Aradhana Mahotsavam? We celebrate Sri Sathya Sai Aradhana Mahotsavam on the 24th of April every year, expressing our love and gratitude for the grace, guidance and blessings we receive from Bhagavan Baba. Swami has said on numerous occasions that he will never forsake or disappoint his devotees. If we only hold on to him with absolute faith and love him with all our heart, mind, soul and strength, he will guard us, protect us and take us across this ocean of life.
Wonderful. Thank you for reminding us, Shanti. And the theme of our programme today is Journey to Sai. This is in line with the national theme for 2023 and for the sacred UK pilgrimage to Shanti in August. Now, it's time for our first item, which is an offering from the Bal Vikas children of Bradford Science Centre called Being a Good Example is the Best Form Service. The children are aged between 7 and 18. Please give them a warm welcome to the stage.
It's the end of the school day. Adi and Anika are chatting while they wait for their parents to come and pick them up.
Hello Anika, how was your day?
I learned lots and I have no homework, so I'm happy.
Same for me, but I still haven't done my Bal Vikas homework to do. It's all about be good, do good and see good.
I know we can be good by doing our homework and helping at home. But what about grown-ups? Nobody gives them homework, so how can they be good?
I heard that they do service. Maybe we can do that too.
Service? But we're still so little.
Well, I'm taller than you. I'm not so small, and once I'm all grown up, I'm going to do lots of service.
What kind of service?
I think some kind of project.
Like a school project?
I'm thinking bigger, like a curry project or a water project.
A water project? But it rains all the time in Yorkshire.
I'll think of something. Maybe I can start a chocolate project.
Maybe I can help you by tasting the chocolate and making sure it's the best.
Well, I can't wait to be all grown up. We can do all the things that our parents do then.
Almost all the things. We can still go to India, but it won't be the same as it was when our parents were little.
Yes, I've seen videos where Baba is walking around and speaking to people who came to see him.
Yes, and I saw that he used to give chocolate to the children too.
Hello there, you two. Why do you look so glum? It's the end of school day and weekend.
Hello, Krish. We're talking about Sai Baba and all the amazing things that we've heard.
We have a plan to grow up as soon as we can and start a chocolate project.
A chocolate what?
We want to be all grown up so that we can do all things that our parents do, like service so that we can be closer to Baba.
Oh, I see. Well, let me tell you this story that I heard in SSE last week. There was once a monastery near the beautiful Italian town of Assisi. A wise and gentle monk lived there. As a young man, he had lots of money, but he decided to give it up and live a simple life as all. One day, he called one of his novices and said, "Let's take a walk into the town and talk to the people."
What's a novice?
It's a name for someone who's new. A novice or a young new monk.
Exactly. It was a beautiful day. The monk and the novice started walking. The monk noticed that the novice was all excited and happy, and he asked him, "What are you thinking about?" The young novice replied, "I'm so happy that I will be going to help other people."
Just like we were going to help people too.
Yes, while the novice was walking, he was so wrapped up in his thoughts that he barely noticed the wonderful countryside. The wise monk said, "You're wasting time thinking. Enjoy the beautiful countryside, the smell of the flowers. Who knows when we'll reach the town? It's not in our hands to know the future. Enjoy every moment now. When we get to the town, who knows that will greet us and what will be needed by those we meet. Be awake to life now. Be alert to what is going on now." The young novice listened and put it into action. As he walked, he felt the warm earth under his feet. He noticed the sharp stones and avoided them. The scent of the flowers drifted to his nose, and the colours seemed brighter. As they walked through the town, they both smiled at the people they met. After some time, they arrived back at the monastery gates. The novice stopped and said, "But father, shouldn't we have stopped to preach?" Laying his hands on the young man's shoulder, the old monk replied, "Son, all the people must have seen our contented face and peaceful nature. In this way, we have been teaching by example, which is better than mere words."
Oh, so does this mean that we don't need to start thinking of a big service project yet?
All we need to do is to be a good example to everyone.
I think we can do that. Uncle, let's go. I'm waiting.
Anvik, Anika, Adi and Krish all went home and they did their best to always be good. Good.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Om Shri Sai Ram.
Thank you, Bradford Bal Vikas. That was a wonderful message for us all to take back with us today.
Yes, definitely, Shri. They were brilliant. Now it's time for a talk from our distinguished guest today, Uncle Gunaranjan Bose. Uncle is a medical physicist at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham. He studied for 10 years in Swami's institutions from Year 8 to MSc in Physics and graduated in 2002 and is a third-generation devotee of Swami. Please welcome Uncle Gunaranjan to the stage.
Om Shri Sai Ram. With love and humility, I offer myself at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, children, Sai Ram to all of you all. Please do pardon me, I've got a bit of a cough, so it may occur from time to time. Thank you ever so much for this opportunity for sharing some of my thoughts and experiences with all of you all. As mentioned in the introduction, we've had the good fortune of being devotees of Swami for 3 generations and hopefully for the 4th generation too. And so I'd like to start with some of the experiences that my grandfather had the good fortune of experiencing with Swami. So my grandfather, the late Brigadier Bose, he was a retired brigadier from the army, but his background was in engineering. And he had the immense good fortune of running a lot of projects in Puttaparthi under the direct guidance of Swami. So the first project that Swami entrusted to him was the construction of the Sarva Dharma Stupa. So this was in 1975, and obviously the main work was done by the professionals, but the devotees played a very significant role in this. So they were singing bhajans, they were passing the concrete, and they were helping lay the foundation and the entire structure itself. One night it so happened that it poured, and as you all would be aware, it's not like in the UK wherein you get unseasonal rains. It's quite predictable in India as to when it's going to rain. This was completely an unseasonal downpour. So, and this was fairly close to the completion date. So my grandfather couldn't sleep at night, and he kept wondering as to what's going to happen. The entire structure is going to be destroyed. How long do we have to reconstruct it? How are we going to do it in this time frame? So on and so forth. So as soon as dawn broke, the day broke, and it had stopped raining, he rushed to the site. And to his amazement, he saw that just around the periphery of the Sarvadharma Stupa, it was dry, and everywhere else it was wet. So he rushed, when it was darshan time, he went for darshan. And then when Swami came to him, he said, Swami, I've witnessed a miracle today, your miracle today. And then Swami said, when my devotees have put in so much love and effort, it'll never go to waste. So Swami was very clear. He said that there's no chance of it going to waste because it's done with so much love and devotion. And that is something that Swami has always reiterated, that the bhav, the feeling with which we do stuff, that is what Swami considers the most important. And then Swami just told him, he said, it's going to rain tonight again, so make sure that it's covered with tarpaulin. So this was, when I was old enough to understand these lessons, I was absolutely amazed, and it very clearly showed that Swami is omnipotent. He is all-powerful. Another example, again pertaining to my grandfather, is, let me take you back to the 20th of October 1988. It was the Dasera Day, and as was Swami's practice, Swami started it with a Telugu poem. This was in the Puja Chandra Auditorium. And on the right-hand side of the auditorium is obviously the gent side, and my grandfather was sat on one of the chairs in the VIP side. As Swami started his discourse, and as he was going through this poem about life and death, my grandfather collapsed and fell off the chair. Swami stopped his discourse, and two doctors rushed over to my grandfather's side. They checked his pulse and then indicated to Swami that he was no more. Again, going by the people who were there, going by their account of what transpired, Swami turned the switch off on the stage and appeared to glide down the steps. As he was gliding down the steps, he appeared to again catch something in his fist. So whilst all this was going on, my grandfather said that he couldn't hear anything, but he could see things happening. And he could see this gigantic golden eagle inside Punachandra Auditorium. And he thought to himself, how has this got in here? As Swami came down, Swami was gesticulating in this fashion and saying, go away, go away. And then this golden eagle suddenly disappeared. Then Swami came over to my grandfather's side, hit him on the back of his, or rather patted him on the back of his neck and said, Bose, get up. After that, on many occasions, Swami has confirmed that he actually did pass away and that Swami brought him back to life. So the reason I've started with these two incidents is to highlight that Swami is indeed omnipotent. So someone, an entity, a being, a super being, an avatar, whatever you may call it, who can control nature, who can control life and death. That is indeed an avatar, and that's someone that we have had the good fortune of getting acquainted with. Just around Easter time, there was an alumni get-together in Amsterdam, and one of the students there who used to walk behind Swami narrated this incident. Swami, as in the physical form, does take on a lot of the limitations of a physical form. So he would tend to worry about certain things. He would act like a human being in many circumstances. So the student was narrating that on one occasion, someone came to Swami and said that their family was going through some kind of an ordeal. And whilst this was going on, Swami seemed very concerned himself. So the student, and then after some time, they again received the information that everything had been resolved. So the student said to Swami, he said, Swami, you were really perturbed with what was happening in their family. They must be really ardent devotees of yours for it to affect you in this way. To which Swami then responded and remarked saying that no, their devotion is immaterial in this instance. All that matters is their sannidhi, their proximity to me. So what Swami meant, or what I think Swami meant, was the fact that we are within his orbit. We are within, we are close to him, not physically, but spiritually and mentally. that means that he has taken responsibility for our lives. It's not at all by coincidence that we happen to be here. It is all part of his will that we are here. So I've spoken about the omnipotence of the Lord. I'd like to now talk a little bit about our relationship with Swami on a one-to-one basis. What I find absolutely fascinating is whenever I go to a new place or meet new devotees, I tend to ask them as to how did Swami pull you into his fold? And it's so miraculous. I mean, it's so fascinating to know the different ways in which Swami has pulled them into his fold. And everyone has this unique one-to-one connection with the Lord. And so I remember I met someone from Glasgow who said that every time Swami wants to indicate something to him, he uses a sequence of 4 numbers. So every time he sees those sequence of numbers, he knows that Swami is indicating something to him. So I find this absolutely fascinating as to how each one of us has this individual but unique bond with Swami. So I'd like to speak a little bit about how my bond with Swami developed, and especially for the youngsters, if there's anything that would be beneficial for them to learn from what I'm about to narrate. So whilst I was in school in Puttaparthi, Swami had just started this trend wherein Swami would come through the ladies' side to the student block, and Swami would call one of the students, hand over the letters to that student, ask them to go around and sit in front of the interview room door, and then collect it from that student after Swami had completed the darshan, the darshan through the gent side. So as Swami was walking through the ladies' side, I thought to myself that Swami, I know that you love me, but you should speak to me once in a while so that I know that it reinforces the fact that you love me. So this thought crossed my mind, and as he was walking toward the student block, again this thought crossed my mind, and I said, Swami, I know that you love me, but once in a while if you speak to me, that will reinforce the fact that you love me. And for the second time when this was crossing my mind, Swami just stopped in his tracks. He looked in my direction and he said, boy, come here. A teacher who was sat next to me got up and he said, not you, boy, come here. I was, if I'm being honest, slightly unnerved because I wasn't sure what Swami's reaction is going to be. First and foremost, why did I entertain this doubt? But then Swami called me, Swami gave me the letters, said something in Telugu, but I was too awestruck to understand anything. So anyway, he gave me the letters, made me go and sit in front of the interview room door, and then on completion of the darshan circle, he gave me Pad Namaskar and collected it from me. The reason I've narrated this was in my one-to-one connection with Swami, this was a very significant movement wherein I realized that he knows what I'm thinking, when I'm thinking. And at that point, he knows everything. So I knew it at a macro level, if I can call it a macro level, that he can control life and death. But at this, if I can call it a micro level, this was, for some reason, an eye-opener to me that he could read exactly what I was thinking. This was then almost a can of worms, because I then knew that whatever I'm thinking, whether good or bad or ugly, he knew what I was thinking at that point in time. But on the other hand, that meant that if I was going through any kind of a dilemma or if I wanted help, I could just appeal to him and say that, Swami, I need help with this. Please help me. So it was an interesting time in my relationship with Swami, in my one-to-one relationship with Swami. And with students, and if you've heard anyone narrate experiences with Swami, or many of the devotees here would have also experienced this, is that Swami would from time to time give you the cold shoulder. He would talk to you, he would look at you and suddenly ignore you. So this happened with students, it happened with the entire set of students, it happened with each individual student too. This is my personal opinion, is that the reason Swami quite often did this was to encourage us to introspect. So Swami, he almost wanted us to watch our words, thoughts and actions as a third person. So if you're having a good thought, as a third person, he wanted us to analyze and say that, okay, I'm having a good thought. If something that's not, maybe not what Swami would expect, he wanted us to almost as a third person analyze this and then try and understand as to why we're going through this or what we can do to remedy this thought process. So what I mean by this is that Swami he on a number of occasions showed that he knows what we're thinking, he knew what the intention is, and it was the intention that Swami was looking out for. Again, if I can narrate another experience, Swami had just started the Gram Seva, which is where Swami would send the students and a lot of the youth. I know that youth from the UK too participated in this on many occasions. So they would go to neighboring villages and deliver food, prasadam in Swami's name, and also clothes for the family. So Swami had just started this in that year, and one day we came back really late and everyone was tired. And I say everyone was tired. The next morning, the bell rang to get up and for Suprabhatam, and at the same time they announced over the PA system in the hostel that today we'll be doing Seva only within Puttaparthi. So I thought to myself, I said, okay, I've had the previous evening was quite long, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep through. It's only in Puttaparthi, there are enough students to, run all the activities. I'm going to just take some rest. So I continued sleeping. When I got up, got ready, it was almost darshan time. And I thought to myself that the last few days I've been busy. I haven't had a proper darshan of Swami. So I'm going to go in one of the early lines and have a good darshan of Swami. I deserve it. When I was sat in the student block and Swami was again coming from the ladies' side, I could see him from a distance staring at me. And that's when it occurred to me that Swami used to ask some of the students as to how the day had unfolded, which villages they had gone to, how the interaction had been, what lessons they've learned, so on and so forth. And that's perhaps the only time in my 10 years over there that I prayed to Swami and I said, please don't talk to me, please don't look at me. As he was getting closer to the student block, he was still staring at me. And I was like, Swami, please don't talk to me, please don't look at me. And I was really repenting. I said, Swami, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have shirked my responsibility. Please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me. He was still looking at me. He came to me and I got up because I knew he was going to talk to me. And he said, Bose's grandson? I said, yes, Swami. And he said, sit down. So what this taught me was that he knew that I'd shirked my duty. I repented. And I think at some level he accepted my repentance. And he also then blessed me. And he said, okay, you've realized your mistake, and he blessed me. So again, what I'd like to highlight through this is that he knows everything that we're thinking, good or bad, we should just leave it to him and say that, okay, Swami, you know what I'm thinking, you know what I've done, I've made a mistake, please forgive me, please help me. When I was a lot younger, I wasn't a very confident person. And I used to pray to Swami, I used to say to Swami, Swami, and again, this is me, I hope that this helps also the youth, that I used to pray to Swami, and I used to write a lot of letters to Swami. And Swami always encouraged us to write letters. And the reason being that when you write a letter, you have to crystallize your thoughts and very clearly, zero down on what your issue is or what you would like to Swami to address. So I used to pray to Swami, I used to say to Swami, Swami, please help me work on my confidence, and Swami, please help me serve you. And Swami, please give me this opportunity. Would you mind, there's a picture of Swami with a gentleman? Yes. So, this person, his name was Koche Singh. A long story, backstory as to how he got there. It suffices to say that he was a schizophrenic person, and Swami had taken over the responsibility of looking after him. And so every year, alternatively 2 and then 3 students would be selected to look after him on Swami's behalf. So the warden would take it to Swami, and Swami would give his blessings and say, yes, these students can look after Koche Singh. He was studying to be a doctor in the UK, and when he underwent a lot of trauma and witnessed trauma, and Swami had anyway taken over the responsibility. Swami had told his father that leave him with here, I'll take care of him for the rest of his life. So the fact that I got this opportunity in my second year when I was pursuing my bachelor's in physics, I got this opportunity to look after Koche Singh. Can you put the next picture, please? So these are some of the students. It's difficult to recognize me. I'm in the top left part of the photo. So we were given the responsibility in our year of looking after Koche Singh. And again, this is such a remarkable lesson that he was schizophrenic. He did not value anything Swami was doing for him. Swami paid for everything. So our responsibility would be to prepare, take breakfast, lunch, dinner, take him for walks. We would stay back during the holidays, and we could walk in front of Trai Vrindavan. So this was in the Vrindavan campus. But what I found absolutely fascinating was that Koche Singh had no appreciation of Swami. He had no appreciation of anything that Swami was doing for him. And in spite of that, in the first photo, in the previous photo, you could see every time Swami would see him, Swami would walk up to him and Swami would inquire about him. One time when his property was very close to Trai Vrindavan. One time we were a bit loud with chai, and then this person comes to us with a big bag of fruits. So we saw him and we instantly recognized him. So we thought that he was going to another one of the houses over there. And then he said, are you chai boys? Swami used to call us chai boys. So we said, yes sir. He said, Swami saw you for the window and he sent this for chai and for the chai boys. So what I would like to, the lessons that I learned from this were that it did not matter to Swami whether the person reciprocated his love or not. Swami's love was unconditional. And when he eventually passed away in 2001, I think, Swami said that this was his last birth. Swami was quite affected, but Swami's love was completely unconditional. So again, this very clearly showed me that he he recognized, he responded to my prayers. I said, Swami, give me a chance to work on my confidence and a chance to serve you. And this is how Swami helped me. Another incident was to do with a very close friend. His name is Sai Krishna Reddy. Sai Krishna Reddy, he was one of those students who was always smiling. Even the most critical person would not be able to point a flaw in him. He was always smiling, always doing the right thing, always doing service. He never seemed to be one of those who was trying to get ahead, jump the lines, to sit in the front and speak to Swami, or have an audience with Swami, or interact with Swami. He just seemed very contented. If he got the last line, he would sit there. He just seemed one of those people. And Swami, I don't know how many of you all know that in the physical form, Swami does not always display his omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience. So quite often he would act as though he doesn't know what's happening. So that trap is what many people fell into. So anyway, one time, I was there when this happened. Sai Krishna Reddy was sat 2 or 3 lines away from where Swami was sat in Threi Vrindavan. So in Threi Vrindavan, which is Swami's residence in Bangalore, Swami would, when Swami was there, Swami would call the students, and he would almost on a daily basis interact with the students, either make them sing or talk to them informally, so on and so forth. On this occasion, Swami summoned Sai Krishna Reddy, and Swami asked the warden, "Who's this boy?" So the warden then said, "Swami, Sai Krishna Reddy, Swami is a very good boy, he does this." And then Swami cut him short. Swami said, "Did you know that during the sports meet time, none of you all knew, but he baked bread for the entire hostel?" And then Swami reeled out so many things that he had done that no one was aware about. Again, and then Swami said, "I'm going to take him to Kodaikanal." So accompanying Swami to Kodaikanal was what every student felt was the greatest honor, because Swami would be playful over there, he would talk very informally, he would go on walks or send them on walks. It was what every student aspired for. And then, so I spoke to Sai Krishna Reddy a few years ago, because I just wanted to get my facts right, because I was going to share this experience elsewhere. And he made it a point to say that it's only because Swami knew that he was doing it just to please Swami. It was immaterial as to whether anyone else acknowledged what he was doing. It only mattered that Swami knew, and he was doing it for Swami. So I just thought, it was such a wonderful experience to witness, and a lesson to learn, that as long as Swami knows you're doing it for Swami, that is all that matters. One thing that I would also like to share is, in my personal opinion, the one thing that I've seen, this is my personal opinion, that Swami does not like his ego. And I've seen this on so many occasions, that once ego creeps in, he shuns you as though, you don't deserve to be there at all. So this has happened to me on many occasions, and it's a lesson that hopefully I'm learning over time. During my 11th standard, in a class interview, Swami happened to create a ring for me, and he gave me a ring. So the next morning, I was given the opportunity of taking a thank you card to Swami. And I thought in my head that Swami already knows, off and on he calls me Bose's grandson, so he's made that link. Now he's given me a ring. So I think my chances of becoming a form boy, that means whom Swami talks to very often, is quite, the probability has increased, and I may get a chance to go to Kodaikanal this year. So for whatever reason, that is the train of thought that is going through my mind. Again, as Swami came towards the student side, and those who have had physical proximity would know that if Swami wants to ignore you, he will make sure you know that he's ignored you. If Swami wants to bless you, he'll make sure that he will shower you with so much love that you will know that he has blessed you. So anyway, Swami came almost till the person beside me, looked at that person, we have spoken to that person, turned to the other side, interacted with those people on the other side, came over to this side, again did the same thing and then walked away. And this I've seen on a number of occasions, that he is all loving, but there are certain things such as ego that I think Swami completely looked down upon. And when I've analyzed this further, again, this is just my personal opinion, I'm sorry if this is wrong, but I feel that if you want to be, or if you aspire to be an instrument of Swami, so if you want to be like a conductor and the signal to flow through you, ego is perhaps one of those things that stops you being a good conductor or being able to carry the signal that Swami would like you to carry within yourselves, within ourselves. So now for the next part, I'd like to talk about Swami. Since Swami has come in the physical form, what are the lessons that I've seen myself Swami exhibit as a human being that we could possibly inculcate in our lives? So if I can take you back to 1991, Swami had already declared that on the 22nd of November 1991, the super speciality hospital in Puttaparthi would be inaugurated. Not only inaugurated, a heart operation would be conducted. In the same year, so 1991, I can't remember the exact date, April or May, Swami told Isaac Tigrit and the entire group to go away. And Swami said he would put his own people in charge. So Swami called my grandfather, and he told my grandfather to call my father, who's an architect from Pune, which is very close to Mumbai. So these two people and two other people, 4 people were kept in charge of the hospital project. What is amazing is before Swami could entrust this responsibility to my father, Swami called our family for an interview. And Swami asked my mother, he said, only if you're okay with this, will I give your husband the responsibility of participating in this project, only if that's okay with you. Needless to say, my mother said, of course Swami, whatever you want. But thinking back, it was such an important lesson. If you would have told me that the Lord of the universe is so humble that before Swami gives someone the opportunity, he's asking the wife that if it's okay with you, I'd like to give him this opportunity. This is the humility of the Lord. So that's what I mean. So these are things that Swami exhibited as a human being that we could try and inculcate in our lives. Again, sticking with this hospital project. So in my father's words, he thought that, oh, this is such a wonderful opportunity. I'll be witness to literally the walls coming up on their own. It's just going to be a miracle, and I'll be witness to that. On the contrary, it was quite the opposite. That was the first time that Larsen & Toubro, which is a massive construction company in India, were working with the Sai organization. So they looked at these 4 individuals as mere devotees. They don't know anything about construction, although their backgrounds were in the construction field. So they were constantly at loggerheads. So the team were trying to get everything done on time and to minimize the costs, whereas Larsen and Toubro, at least at that stage, were trying to maximize their profits, and they weren't too worried about meeting this deadline. So it was quite the opposite of what my father was expecting. So again, very close to the deadline, Swami, and my father's got pictures of how the state of affairs in May 1991, given that in November 1991 was the inauguration. So one morning, every morning Swami would interact with them during the darshan time. So one morning he appeared to sternly say to them, "I'd like to speak to you all in the evening." So normally after morning darshan they would go to the site and be there for the entire day. So now they were afraid. They said that, okay, let's have a meeting. Let's make sure that we're singing from the same hymn book. All our excuses have to line up. And they were really worried. They felt guilty that we're doing Swami's work. We're not able to do Swami's work. When Swami called them in the evening, Swami's persona was completely different to what it was in the morning. Swami was all loving. Swami cut fruits, gave them fruits. Swami gave them money. He said, Swami gave them white cloth and he said, "Get this stitched. The Prime Minister's coming. I need you all to look very smart." And Swami was all loving. And then Swami said to them, "Do not worry. I'm giving you the assurance that the project will be done on time." So if you can just take a moment to ponder over this. Swami basically said, you do your work. I'm giving you the assurance that it will be done on time. So afterwards, when I learned about this and I was analyzing this, the lessons that I think Swami wanted to impart were, Swami has already decided that this will be done. It's Swami's work. Secondly, you are but an instrument. We are not at all indispensable to Swami. It was just an opportunity that had been given to them. As Swami had said that it will be done on time, it did not matter whether it was ABCD or XYZ Alpha. It did not matter. Swami had decided that it will be done, and it was done on time. There were many incidents regarding how it was done on time, and Philips were very scared. The Philips engineer who was there, he said that, "Oh, I'm not used to this. It has to be spotless. We're going to treat a patient. How is it going to be done on time? There's only 1 week left." And there are loads that can be discussed on this, but I just wanted to share this experience. I digress a little bit. I also wanted to talk about how Swami is as a manager. And quite often, if I think to myself that should I be doing this or should someone else be doing this, I just have to remind myself of, would you mind putting on the third picture, please? So a similar picture was shared some time ago. So this is, as you all would know, is Narayan Seva. Again, if someone were to say to me that the Lord of the universe, when there's Narayan Seva going on, if the Lord of the universe is going to be sat on a throne and he's going to oversee from his majestic throne everyone doing their work, I would have said that sort of makes sense. However, what did Swami do? I've personally witnessed this, and I'm sure Satya Sai and Vijayanand brother and others would have experienced this, that Swami would, at least for one row, if not more, Swami would himself serve the devotees food. So Swami always led by example. And he never thought that, oh, I'm the Lord of the universe, I'm just going to sit over there. He always led by example, and he never did this with any sense of ego. He always did it with a sense that I'm getting an opportunity to serve someone. Even as the Lord, this is what Swami would like to, this was the example that he was trying to set. So I just thought that these are certain things that are absolutely fascinating, that these are examples that I try and remind myself and imbibe in my life. Now for the next segment, I'd like to focus a little bit on why Swami expects us to surrender and how that helps. So I'd like to narrate an experience wherein involving myself. So one of the most enjoyable times on the student calendar is the birthday drama. So similar to how our Bal Vikas students brilliantly enacted this play, there would be a play that would be done on the 26th of November in Swami's presence. And on one year, the director summoned me and he said, Bose, Swami has agreed for you to be part of the drama this year. I said, sir, I've never acted in front of Swami. I've never acted, let alone in front of Swami. He said, don't worry. He said, the protagonist will go through a moral dilemma and you are his conscience, reeling out Swami's dialogues, and Swami's going to be really happy with you. I said, sir, he said, don't worry, just pray to Swami. So I said, okay. I was overjoyed that I was getting to act in front of Swami, nervous that I'm going to act in front of Swami. So anyway, I used to practice really hard, practice in front of the mirror, try my level best. And Swami sent the Vice Chancellor for one of our rehearsals. So the Vice Chancellor sat through the entire play, and at the end of the play, he had only one feedback. He said that the person playing the role of conscience, he's a bit too boisterous and he should be a lot more mellow. So I was quite crestfallen. So I went to the director and I said, I'm really sorry. I'll try my best to alter my acting so that I'm not too boisterous, I'm a little more mellow. To which he angrily said to me, don't change anything. What you're doing is fine. He knows nothing about acting. So then I turned to a lot of my friends and other alumni and I said, what do? They said, pray to Swami. So I really prayed to Swami. I kept practicing. I kept praying to Swami, saying that, Swami, I'm just doing this to please you. Please take care. On one occasion, Swami called the entire group for an interview. And in the interview room, he wanted us to enact each and every the entire play, enact each of the stages of the play. So for each act, we would move out, and those who are going to come into the next stage would come and sit over there. So when it came to my part of the act, so I was sat like that, and then Swami looked at me and he said, don't do that, sit like this. I said, okay, I sat like that. And as I was reeling out I was effectively reeling out all Swami's, discourses basically. Swami was looking at me with rapt attention. And after the entire thing got over, Swami said to the warden and the Vice Chancellor, Bose's grandson, very good acting. And when I looked around, all the students gave us a slight chuckle because everyone knew the background and how I was so nervous. The other thing, so again, this was a very important lesson to me, wherein I just prayed to Swami. I said, Swami, you have to take care. And I don't know. and Swami accepted it, and he made sure everyone else was at ease. The other thing that I wanted to also mention is from a very physical, at a very human level, what did Swami do? As soon as we sat inside the interview room, I was perhaps the most nervous over there. Swami gauged it, and 3 times Swami asked someone else, either the warden or the vice chancellor, Bose's grandson, what's his role? And then they would explain it. And again, this was, afterwards when I thought about it, he did that just to put me at ease. And again, this is something Swami used to do. Swami would encourage everyone. Even if you did something minuscule, he would look at the way you have done it and he would encourage you. Again, going back to the example that Swami says, again, the discourse that you all played was exactly what I was also thinking. What I mean by that? So during the COVID crisis, I came across one of these talks wherein some of the students were talking about how is it that Swami can sit through the same bhajans day in and day out. It's effectively the same bhajans. He sits through it in the morning, in the evening. If there's a play, he sits through this more or less the same plays, and he's done this for all his life. How does Swami do this? Is it because he's God? And then someone said that it is because Swami used to lead each day as a new day. He would try and lead each moment as a new moment. And because he was doing that, Swami could enjoy that bhajan again and again and again. You're enacting this more or less the same play in front of Swami, and that's how Swami could enjoy it again and again and again. So during the COVID crisis, when I heard this, I said that, okay, this makes a lot of sense. So I tried a little bit to not think too far ahead, not think too much about the future, try to live in the present, take each day as a new day. And I think this is a brilliant lesson that Swami led by example. Sorry, I just have to read out this. If I can just relate one more incident. This was, again, quite often we all think about how do we please Swami. We are busy with our daily chores, we're busy with family, so on and so forth. How do you find time to pray to Swami? A good friend of mine who was pursuing her PhD in physics at the University of Birmingham, she narrated this to me. So she was stuck at one stage and wasn't progressing at all in her PhD. And she then implored to Swami saying, Swami, you're not helping me. Why aren't you helping me? And then Swami came in a dream and he said, where is my chair? Why haven't you kept a chair for me? So what she did was, from the next day, she kept a chair of Swami's beside hers in the lab. And then she would almost talk to Swami saying, okay, are you going to help me now? And she had this wonderful rapport with Swami, and she said, okay, now I'm going to effectively change my work into worship. And so that's what she did. And she said that it was difficult, but then Swami did help her. So everything that she was doing, she said, okay, I'm doing this to please you, and I need your help. And that was one, I thought, a really good way in which she could sort of transform her daily chores, her day-to-day chores into worship. So transform work into worship. So I'd just like to say that the ultimate thing that we can do is surrender to Swami. I came across this quotation. God's plan is like a beautiful tapestry, and the tragedy of being human is that we only get to see it from the back, with all the ragged threads and muddy colors. Only God can see the tapestry in all its majesty and grandeur. And so we should trust the Lord to help us through whatever we're going through. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you.
I tried to keep Brother on the stage, but he wants to get away. Jai Saram, everyone, and thank you so much, Brother Gunaranjan, for joining us once again in Region 5 and so lovingly sharing your experiences, your friends' personal experiences, and your family's experiences. Now, some of the headline messages that were coming out to me and maybe to all of us were that Baba is omniscient, he's all-knowing, he can see through us like a piece of glass. We think something and he knows it straight away. He knows it even before we think it. He's compassionate, he's selfless, loving always. Siddha Sankalpaya Namaha. His will happen, as was the incident in the hospital story. The importance of our intentions and that Bhagwan always led by example. And finally, it's important to make our work worship and to completely surrender to Bhagwan. So thank you so much, Brother Gunaranjan. And with a round of applause, if we can offer you a small token of love from Region 5.
And now it's time for our brothers and sisters from Warrington Bal Vikas to come and offer Swami a play called Whatever Happens, Happens for the Best. This sounds very interesting. Please give a warm welcome to Warrington Bal Vikas.
We, the Bal Vikas children of Warrington Science Centre, would like to share with you a story called Whatever Happens, Happens for the Good. It was a beautiful day in the kingdom of Oldham. The sun was shining and the king and his minister were discussing how the day had gone in the palace kitchen.
Good afternoon, Minister Isha. How's your day been?
It's been great, Your Highness. I've been visiting the schools this morning and talking to the teachers. We had lots of important discussions over a tasty glass of sugarcane juice.
Ooh, sugarcane! I do like a glass of sugarcane juice. Let me check the fridge and see if we have some. We're all out of sugarcane. What am I going to do? I'm the king. When I want sugarcane juice, I should have it.
Oh King, please don't get angry. Let me order sugarcane juice on the McDonald's app and we'll get you a sugarcane juice. Oh no, they are out of stock. I'll call the sugarcane juice factory direct.
Sugarcane Delight. How can I help?
It's an emergency. The king needs sugarcane.
I need a large juice to the palace now.
We're out of stock and really busy. I can get you an actual sugarcane and you can cut it and make the juice yourself.
Yes, that will do. Perfect. Thank you.
Great. We'll send you an invoice. Enjoy.
Oh wow. Look at this sugarcane, Mr. Isha. It looks so tasty. I can't wait to cut it and eat it. Pass me a knife. Here you go. Be careful. Ow! I've cut myself. Today is just not my day. First no sugarcane and now this disaster. Don't stress, King. Feel blessed. God does everything for the best. What? Don't stress, feel blessed? What is this nonsense? Here I am in so much pain after cutting my finger, and you tell me God does everything for the best? Enough of your nonsense. How can this be for the best? I am in so much pain. Prison guards, take this minister to the palace prison immediately.
Greetings, Your Majesty. We'll take this naughty person immediately, Your Majesty. We'll put him in the smallest, darkest, smelliest cell. What a silly thing he said. Don't stress, feel blessed.
I'm not in the least bit upset or worried. Even this sentence is for my good. And with that, the minister was locked up in the smallest, darkest, smelliest prison cell the two scary prison guards could find. A few days later, the king wanted to go on a hunting trip. He normally would take the minister, but he was in prison, so he took another one of his good friends.
How are we feeling, King? We've had a good day, haven't we? I'm so glad you could come hunting with me, Roma. We've caught a deer and a tiger. A good day's work.
And your finger? Is that still painful?
Yes, very painful. But it didn't stop me hunting. Look at my big muscles. I'm looking forward to getting back to the palace gym and doing more bench pressing.
Great job today, King. You are indeed very strong and brave. Let's rest here for an hour before we head back to the palace.
I've got you now. The tribal chief is going to be so pleased with me.
What have you done to me? Why have you tied me up? What are you going to do to me?
I am the greatest servant of our tribal chief. Every year it is my job to find a human to sacrifice for our goddess. We will place you at the altar of our goddess and then kill you. This will be a sacrifice to our goddess. The time has arrived and we are fortunate to have found you.
Let me go. I am the king of the realm. You cannot kill me for a sacrifice. It's impossible.
Stop whinging. Let's go. We don't need you. You can stay here.
And with that, the servant of the tribal chief took the king back to the village to the chief and tribe's priest. I am the great chief Shanti, my greatest servant Nidhi. You have outdone yourself this year. You found a king with big muscles. The goddess is going to be extremely pleased with our sacrifice this year. We are going to be offering her such an important person.
Thank you for your kind words, Chief. I try my hardest to find the best sacrifice. I'll put him on the sacrificial altar now.
As the tribal chief, I must check the sacrifice for any defects. The sacrifice must be perfect for our goddess. Wait! What's this on your finger? We cannot use this useless king as a sacrifice for our goddess. A man with a defect in his body is not fit for this ritual. Let him go.
The king ran as fast as he could back to his palace.
I think I have made a huge mistake. The minister told me that God does everything for the best. Let me shout to the prison guards to release the minister and bring him to me immediately. Prison guards, bring me the minister.
Hello, King. You wanted to see me? I am so sorry, Minister. I realise now what you meant when you said God does everything for the best. That wound saved me from death. Forgive me for the cruel way I treated you.
Your Majesty, there is nothing to forgive. You have done no harm.
What do you mean? I know what happened to me was for my own good, but why did you say that me sending you to prison was for your own good?
O King, if you had not locked me up in prison, I would have come with you on the hunting trip. And when the tribal people realised you were not fit for sacrifice, who do you think they would have chosen instead? Me, of course, as I would never have left your side, despite having the opportunity. See? Don't stress. Feel blessed. God does everything for the best.
As Swami tells us about surrender, whether it is good or bad that happens to you, have absolute and firm conviction and faith that it is God who is giving it to you at all times. Have this faith, and this is what surrender is. Jai Sai Ram.
Love is fire.
Warrington Bal Vikas. That was a lovely offering and something for us all to think about. It was a lovely offering and something for us all to think about. Everything happens for a reason. Our next item is a traditional agenda item in our regional programmes, and we call it Droplets of Love. This is where devotees share their special experiences with Swami, and today we are blessed with 2 Droplets of Love talks. The first of which is by Uncle Kantilal Mistry from Bradford Science Centre. Uncle is a shining example of service or seva. He's been involved in medical camp activities with Dr. Pudya since 1998 under the umbrella of a number of charities. Please can we all give Uncle a warm welcome.
My humble pranam at the lotus feet of our beloved God. Brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties and children, Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
It's been quite a long time since the good Lord gave me an opportunity to say something in front of an audience like this. It was quite a long time somewhere in Preston, but before I could start saying anything, I'm going to have to request a lot of help from you as well as from our good Lord. He has started this dialogue when I received a text message from Arvind Bhai. Say, Kanti Bhai, would you like to say something on our Aradhana Mahotsavam day in the form of, in connection with the topic, Droplets of Love. Now, when he gave me the title, I did not agree straight away, but we discussed things next day. And then, obviously, as our guest speakers have mentioned, that each individual have an interaction with Swami. And first thing I did to say to Swami that I've been given to this topic to say something. He says, well, you've been given, not me. So I said, but I need your help. Well, when it comes to help, I'm ever ready, Swami says. You know my saying, help ever, hurt never. So with that, I decided that I would speak something, and says, Swami, the topic is droplets of love. Now, when you think in terms of word droplets, to you, the things come in from your mind is something of in a liquid form, and like water droplets or honey droplets or droplets of any medicine. Okay? So he always says, when you talk to your friends and things, you keep referring to some of my sayings and all this. So use your head. That's what he told me. So obviously, I said one thing that comes to my mind is God is love. So he says, yes, but I am a lot more than that. So as he guided me to prepare the slide, and says, God is love, and with that, I started contemplating that how I can get with better comprehension of droplets of love. So, he says, well, you also attend Bhajans, and he says, there are some bhajan in which you have possibly sang together with other people, remember one. And obviously says, love is God and live in love. Okay, love, 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 love is God and live in love. So I say, is that all? Well, I'm a lot more than that, Swami says. And then he says, well, you need to remember that although I'm omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent, okay, I'm everything. So then things came to my mind that I should remember something. So can I have a second slide, please? So then came that I'm a creator. And do you all agree that the whole creation is His? Yeah. And we are part of His creation. So the penny started dropping there that I sometimes read, and then there is this book in which mention that why God created the universe. And says, there was no one to know me, so I split myself from myself to love myself. So, with that, it made quite clear that we, as a part of His creation, and love is His form, we are very, very tiny droplets of love in the vast ocean of the good Lord, who is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. So this is how I comprehended the droplets of love. So if with this, I now say that as we interact in the society amongst our kids and kins, friends and family, we quite often forget to keep the true identity, that we are the tiny split of the good Lord, and that His form is love, then we are also love. But in our mundane routine, it is not easy for all the time to keep remembering and also implementing in the practice that we are a very tiny spark of the divinity. Now, explaining the droplets of love and my comprehension with explanation that the Creator is something that gives us an opportunity in our lifespan to do something, to share your love in the society. So, can I have a third slide, please? Since I got an opportunity to meet Dr. Upadhyay in Sai organization, who has been conducting a medical camp, since then I was impressed, and in the past, having been involved in a various medical camp, last November we had an opportunity to go to Sierra Leone under the umbrella of charity called Better Life Foundation. And in that opportunity, normally we get asked that after the COVID, it's been 3 years and there is a need, can you build up a team? Now, at that time, you talk to the people within your contact and build up a team. So in November, we teamed up with Dr. Ramana, who acted as a general practitioner over there, Hannah as a gynecologist, myself as a optometrist, And couple of general volunteers, Brother Paresh came from Sweden, as well as my better half Tara, and the third person is one of our auntie, Madhuben. So with that, we decided that we will do whatever we can, but there was also from the beginning idea of doing some Narayan Seva while the camp activity was going on. Can I have a next slide, please? So the pre-camp preparation goes on with boxing certain things at Lindsay Green Science Center. No, now it's called Bradford Science Center. Ladies have been preparing some dignity bags, and I think there has been some help from outside the centers as well. So they wanted to send some dignity bags for underprivileged ladies over there. So we packed some dignity bags, also some food in terms of 20 kilo rice and everything, because sometime in the rural part of Sierra Leone, it is difficult to get the large quantity of grains and things. So with that we packed everything the night before, and in some clothes in the suitcases as well. If I could have a next slide, please. And here we are, flow from Manchester to Lungi Airport, and the second photograph is we are outside the airport. Here we were supposed to get 2 cars to be picked up, and okay, they were waiting for us. We started our journey, okay, nearly about 10 o'clock at night, and we were supposed to get there within 2 hours' time. But as you know that over there, anything can happen, and halfway one of the cars ran out of the petrol, and it is difficult to find the petrol at that time, but one of the chap happened to find that there was some people were selling overpriced petrol, and we managed to get something, and it was difficult to fill that in the tank. So they came up with a contraption of some plastic container and filling in. Finally, middle of the night, we got to our guest house in a village called Yonibana, where the camp was going to be conducted. Can I have a next slide, please? So here, the camp activity started in terms of, there wasn't much publicity, but whenever they hear that there is going to be a camp, there is no shortage of people. The camp activity is going on. During that time, we decided that how do we do Narayan Seva? And the coordinator who was with us, Arvind Patel, who is the main person of the charity called Better Life Foundation, he says, we do not have a big pots to cook, and also it will be difficult to get the elderly people from the village to over here. So finally, the suggestion was made that we do prepare some bags filled with rice, lentils, and other things like potatoes and things. So we prepared 108 bags and decided to take in 2 cars into village. Now there are streets in the village where you start from this side and things, and we loaded all those bags onto the car. Can I have a next slide, please? So here we went with the bags, with the people who were listed on our list, and the local volunteers were helping. So we distributed these food bags in the village, and it was a different experience that when you see these people outside their house, okay, with very little you can see with them, and being able to offer something, okay, you just say, thank you God for giving this opportunity. But as you go along the village, there are small children. If I could have a next slide, please. Okay, who also walks behind you. And although we are brown skin, those children regard us as a white man. So they call us Apoto. So they start shouting in the village and walk behind you, say, Apoto has come. If I could have a next slide. And you can see that those children are longing for something. And as I was thinking in my mind, the Swami, we have brought these grains and food bags for the people, but we need something for the children because normally we think of some chocolates and things like that. So as we were distributing the bags, all I could see at the end of the street, because normally you look for stalls and things, there was a lady with a big plastic bucket on his head. So I said to her, what are you selling? And she brought the bucket down from her head, and I could see some peanuts and jaggery, the laddus in it, and they were in a reasonable quantity. So I took the bucket, but she wanted to negotiate at the price. I said, I'll sort it out, don't worry. If I could have a next slide, please. So, digressing from during the camp, we have a opportunity to inauguration in the street and also the teaching session. And during the teaching session, everybody over there who volunteers, whether he has got any background of general knowledge of any anatomy or physiology, they want to know everything. They want to know. So they always are longing to know. So we have to sometimes get back to the basic level to explain certain things. So some of the teaching session went in terms of general explanation and then selecting some people for some little bit detailed knowledge. If I could have a next slide, please. Okay, so when I was saying I was looking for something, so we found that peanuts laddu, and as you can see, it was difficult to control the crowd, but we managed to put them in one line and then distribute it, and they were so happy. So they did walk behind us, and it was good to share those moments, and I thought I will just explain this to you, that those children are very, very loving children, and that was the opportunity for us to serve them. Last slide. Okay, so this is just a little, what I would call, it's a very, very small drop in a big oceans of seva that we have been able to do in Sierra Leone in November. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Uncle. It's so inspiring to see all the work that you have been involved in and the benefits of those in need. Thank you for sharing your experiences. And as Shri said, we have a second Droplets of Love talk coming up shortly. But first, we have our very talented regional young adults group who next to have been working hard to experience this blissful offering of vocals and instruments in harmony for Swami. Please welcome our regional young adults.
Respected elders and children, Jai Sairam. On this occasion of Aradhana Day, the young adults of Region 5 offer to you Swami, a collection of songs celebrating the divine and eternal relation that we have with you.
Sairam Ankita, have you heard of the saying, a language is a window through which one can view the world? In this world and every world that exists in the cosmos, we are bound to you, Swami. What better way is there to express our love than to sing your praise in a multitude of languages?
What a beautiful idea, Swami. Let's recollect in Telugu how our Lord came to the earth to live amongst us and enrich our lives with his physical presence.
आनंद बालुडे आनंद बालुडे तन गुंपुतो ఆడుకొనుగా వచ్చే ఆ రామచంద్రుడే ఆ రామచంద్రుడై తన బంటులను కనుగొనవచ్చే మనిషిని మాధవుని జయ మహినే స్వర్గముగా మార్చి మాధవుడే అవతరించే సత్య సాయి భగవాను ఎంత ప్రేమయో స్వామికి ఎంత ప్రేమయో సత్య సాయి భగవాను ఎంత ప్రేమయో మనిషిని మాధవుని జయ మహినే స్వర్గముగా మార్చి మాధవుడే అవతరించే సత్య సాయి భగవాను ఎంత ప్రేమయో స్వామికి ఎంత ప్రేమయో సత్య సాయి భగవాను ఎంత ప్రేమయో ఈశ్వర ముద్దు బిడ్డై నడయాడి శ్రీనివాసుడై ఈశ్వరుడే అవతరించే పవిత్ర భారతాన ఎంత పుణ్యమో మనకెంత పుణ్యమో సత్య సాయి దర్శింపల జన్మధన్యమో మనిషిని మాధవుని జయ మహినే స్వర్గముగా మార్చి మాధవుడే అవతరించే సత్య సాయి భగవానుడి ఎంత ప్రేమయో స్వామికి ఎంత ప్రేమయో సత్య సాయి భగవానుడి ఎంత ప్రేమయో మతం పేర కులం పేర వత్సరాలు కనగంచు మానవతను పోషించే దేవమతను స్థాపించా సంభవామి యుగే యుగే అని చాటిన రీతిగా సంభవామి యుగే యుగే అని చాటిన రీతిగా అవతరించెను ఆత్మజనుల ఆదుకొనగా నీదు సన్నిధి మాకు పెన్నిధి నీదు ప్రేమే మాకు ప్రాణము నీదు సన్నిధి మాకు పెన్నిధి నీదు ప్రేమే మాకు ప్రాణము తల్లి నీవే తండ్రి నీవే తల్లి నీవే తండ్రి నీవే మనిషిని మాధవుని చేయమని స్వర్గముగమాచి మాధవుడే ఆదరి సత్య సాయి భగవానుడి ప్రేమయో స్వామికి ఎంత ప్రేమయో సత్య సాయి భగవానుడి ప్రేమయో స్వామికి ఎంత ప్రేమయో సత్య సాయి సాయి బాబా సత్య సాయి నమో స్తుతి సత్పతి బాబా నమో స్తుతి
How truly blessed we have been to see the creator of the universe take birth as a human. Narayana himself here as Nara. Since 2011, I have missed Swami displaying his radiance with physical darshan.
That was truly a sight to behold. But Saini, how silly are we to limit God to a human body? The creator of life and death cannot have a beginning and an end. So how then can we bind Swami to his mortal toil? Kahe bande cycle, janam maran ke bandan.
What a beautiful way to think about it. I understand now that our Lord is everlasting, but at the same time, how nice would it be to have him here to guide us with his divine discourses, to keep us on track on his divine mission.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूय
अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे काहे बांधे साई को जन्म मरण के बंधन में काहे बांधे साई को जन्म मरण के बंधन में क्या इस सत्य को भूल गए क्या इस सत्य को भूल गए साई बसे कन कन में काहे बांधे साई को जन्म मरण के बंधन में साई ने सबको समझाया मानव रूप मधुर करके साई ने सबको समझाया मानव रूप मधुर करके ये शरीर तो नश्वर है पर साई अनंत निरंतर है।
प्रेम से ये दिया उपदेश, मेरा जीवन मेरा संदेश, सत्य मार्ग पर चल के बने हर जीवन साई संदेश।
हर जीवन साई संदेश, हर जीवन साई संदेश।
फिर साई के दर्शन हो हर पल मन के दर्पण में। फिर साई के दर्शन हो हर पल मन के दर्पण में। क्या इस सत्य को भूल गए, क्या इस सत्य को भूल गए, साई बसे हैं पल पल में। काहे बांधे साई को जन्म मरण के बंधन में। काहे बांधे साई को जन्म मरण के बंधन में।
अब साई के दर्शन होंगे, अब साई के दर्शन होंगे, अब साई के दर्शन होंगे। हर पल मन के दर्पण में साई बनकर सारथी संग रहेंगे अंतर मन में। अब ये जीवन धन्य हुआ है साई के प्रति समर्पण में। अब ये जीवन धन्य हुआ है साई के प्रति समर्पण में। अब ये जीवन धन्य हुआ है साई को प्रति समर्पण में।
I can truly appreciate that our Lord is everlasting, but at the same time, how nice would it be to have him here to guide us with his divine discourses.
His captivating eyes, that's all we ever need, Saini. If you look into his eyes, there lie the answers to all our doubts and the comfort to all our worldly anxieties. Let us just meditate upon his eyes.
In a world of disguise and maya, I am soaring the skies in your ananda.
Gently falling back in your arms, I'm entranced by your eyes, Sai Rama. I am lost in your eyes, Sai Rama.
Yashoda saw the universe in Lord Krishna's mouth, we can see our destiny in our Sai Rama's eyes.
Exactly. Have you ever had that feeling where regardless of where you may be in this world, as soon as you see Swami's picture, you instantly feel at home?
Yes, I know that feeling. He is truly our mother, father, brother and sister. In Marathi, the word Mai means mother's home, and we are fortunate that our Mai is wherever we feel Swami's presence.
Shanti, wasn't that amazing?
Yes, it certainly was. Very musical and soothing. I'm sure Swami really enjoyed it too.
Absolutely. Thank you, young adults. And now for our second Droplets of Love talks. This time we are blessed to have my granddad, Dado Sahib Sisodia of the Greater Manchester Science Centre. Uncle is a long-standing and ardent devotee of Swami. He has had a leading role in the Indian Association Oldham and many charity works. Last year he was awarded an MBE from the late Queen for his work in the community in Oldham. Please can we all give Dado Sahib a warm welcome.
My heartfelt, humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Brothers and sisters, Jai Sai Ram. It's wonderful to see so many of you here in the wonderful kingdom of Oldham to celebrate Aradhana Day. The day Swami took Mahasamadhi is marked as Aradhana Day. And on this day, we express our gratitude, our thanks to Bhagwan Baba for everything that he has done for us and continuously doing. Swami, forgive us. Aradhana Day falls on 24th April and we are celebrating on a Saturday, 22nd April. It is purely for our convenience. But in reality, Baba, you look after us day after day, and so for all of us, every day is an Aradhana Day. I'm grateful to you, Bhagavan, for everything that you've done. Swami has often said that if you take one step towards me, I will take 100 steps towards you. And I'm grateful to Swami that when I took one step towards him, he didn't take 100, but he took thousands of steps towards me to reach me here in the UK. That very first experience with Swami is unforgettable. And Baba, it is engraved in my heart forever. And today I like to just share this in a form of a little poem. Of course, it's nothing like what our in-house poet, Mr. Vaja, Sanjay Vaja does, but it's the attempt. So forgive me, Swami, for any mismatch of words, because all the words have come only from you anyway. So here we go. 1974, a year to remember, flew to India with family for the big day, the wedding. Wonderful wedding done and began journey home. Stopped over at a friend's abode. Called him uncle. Was a genius judge. My eyes caught sight of a photo and a magazine. Curiosity crept and I questioned. Sai Baba of Miracle replied, uncle, you should see him, he advised. Baffled and bemused, but took on board what he said. A few months later, a airy event evolved. On a Saturday morning, I recall, an urge to scan Sai surfaced. No one knew of him at the time. Could uncle help? But shelved the thought. The same day, went to local library for a technical book for my work. Lo and behold, eyes caught sight of Sai. He stared at me with a smile. From the front cover of the book, Baba. What a congenial coincidence, I thought. Borrowed the book and read word by word. Intrigued and impressed, but thought impossible. No way can he produce objects from thin air. No way can he cure the incurable. No way can he read our minds. Appearing simultaneously at several places, beyond the laws of science, impossible. Then it happened while sharing with family an incident from the book. Sai Baba went to seaside with his followers, it said. He raised his hands and asked Ocean why he called him there. A wave rushed through his feet, leaving behind a necklace at his feet. A dispute arose between me and my brother Ashok Singh. One said diamond, the other said pearl necklace. Let's check it out, we agreed. But which page? Baba, if you hear me, I said loudly. Open the book on the right page, please. held my breath and opened it at random. Wow, it opened on the right page. Pearl necklace it was. Cleared our doubts and we laughed. Duly returned the book to the library. Question after question made their debut. Mind pondered. Did he read my mind? And transformed the book for me? One way to find out. Back I was in the library to investigate with the helping hand of a kind librarian. Search all records and titles and subjects. The search was over with a firm affirmation. No such books on Baba existed in our library. Thus began our journey to Sai. Was you okay? Swami, I'm grateful to you for guiding me and my wife onwards from this incident and pointing us to wonderful loving devotees in Bolton. A few of them are all here. There's Ratibai and Savita Ben and so many here, from whom we learned how to sing bhajans, how to conduct bhajans, and in particular, Vinod Patel and Urmila Patel in Bolton played a great role. They were instrumental in taking us forward in our journey to you, Swami. Sadly, Vinod passed away recently, and we all pray to Baba to grant his soul eternal peace in your abode. But they shared with us Swami's Leelas, photographs, vibhuti, and even lent us films on Swami and projectors to watch and enjoy. So we are ever grateful to them. So many things to say on Swami, where to start, where to end. Whole day by day, Swami has been looking after me. I'm grateful to you, Baba. For each day, you protect us, guide us. But I'm immensely grateful to you for extending my life. Because only you knew, Baba, what was going to happen to me on the 29th January 2016. And Swami, you made sure that I was in Puttaparthi with you on that day, not just with my wife, which was normal, usual case, but also with some relatives as well for the support that would be needed. Because on that day, I suffered a heart attack. And Swami, you provided excellent emergency, quick service in your super specialty hospital, and with excellent doctors and nurses who gave me brilliant treatment, and I recovered speedily with your blessings in that temple of healing. Baba, I want to also thank you, me and my wife, that listening to our prayers, to play a small role in your divine work, because I remember the day I was going to be discharged, I asked hospital for an invoice, and a bold and clear reply came from the hospital. Sir, this is Swami's hospital. We don't raise invoices here. Amazing. Free of charge, in a 5-star hospital, treatment given with love, care. Regardless of your background, race, religion, caste, creed, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, you are given equal treatment. And so we prayed to Swami, what can we do? Swami, thank you for guiding us to directors of the hospital and the trustees of this central trust. With your blessings and grace, they gave us permission to set up the heart valve project, where one heart valve not just saves one life, but in more cases where the recipient is the breadwinner of the family, one heart valve protects and saves and safeguards the whole family. And Baba, we are all grateful to you here that through your blessings, you have granted us all a role to play in your divine work, and it is through this region and some devotees from other parts of UK, not 10, 20, 30 valves, but a staggering 170 valves have been donated to the hospital. It is only your miracle, Baba, and we pray to you, all of us, that please continue showering your grace upon us so that we can continue with our little bit in playing our role in your divine mission. Just to say, Baba, that my expression of gratitude is simply a tiny drop in the ocean of your love and compassion. Thank you, Saila.
Thank you, Dausa. That was a beautiful talk, and it was very inspiring to hear about the heart valves and how this seva has already helped so many people. And just like that, we're approaching the end of today's programme. Can you believe it?
Sadly, but yes, Sri. The time has flown by so quickly, but I hope everyone has really enjoyed today's offerings to Swami and all the talks from our centres and guest speakers. And I'm sure we will all take something away from today that will help us on our spiritual journey to Sai. We will be concluding today's programme with our closing prayer shortly, including Bhajans and aarti.
That's right. But first we'd like to call to the stage our Joint Regional Spiritual Coordinator, Uncle Santosh Sarma, for the closing thoughts. And before we go, a big thank you from Shanti and I for having us as your MCs today. Jai Sai.
Jai Sai Ram, everyone. I offer my most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan Baba, and a loving Sai Ram to all of you. Indeed, time has flown by very, very quickly. You just seen a few minutes ago that the children of Manchester invoked the mantra push from such energetic Vedic chants and set the program rolling. But it's been a wonderful occasion where everyone has come together to celebrate this Aradhana Mahotsavam. The theme for the program, we set it out as Journey to Sai, which is also the theme that has been set out nationally for all events this year. It's very apt considering that a lot of us are undertaking this pilgrimage to Prashanti later on in the summer. But it's more important to consider the fact that we are all, whether or not we are making that physical journey to Prashanti, we are on the spiritual journey to Swami. So it's very important that on this day, while we celebrate the Aradhana Mahotsavam, we take a moment to reflect on Swami's message and how we are doing in that journey towards Sai, evaluate ourselves, introspect, and kind of imbibe some of the teachings that Swami has always stood for. And I'm sure you will agree with me that the program that we have put together today, kind of flowed through that theme so beautifully. So we had the wonderful Vedic chants by the Manchester Bal Vikas children to start off. And then we had soulful bhajans chanted by the devotees from various centers across the region. And then we had that wonderful Bal Vikas drama, enacted by the children of the Bradford Sai Center, where they showed how, even doing a service is a big, even doing selfless service is a big service in itself. Swami has himself said that, being an example or make your life my message, that is the only, thing he wants from us. And then we had Brother Gunaranjan Bose, who, wonderfully, went through some of his personal experiences, about his grandfather, about himself, his valuable lessons that he learned at Swami's Divine Lotus Feet in his student days, and kind of gave us important lessons on what should we do in terms of being worthy instruments in the hands of Swami. We had the wonderful drama presented by the Warrington children, where they, so beautifully demonstrated how everything happens with Swami's will. Everything that happens is for the good. Even a blade of grass doesn't move without Swami's divine will. We had the wonderful musical presentation by the young adults. I know they had a lot of challenge in kind of putting this together at a short notice, but a wonderful performance, done by the young adults, where they express their love for Swami in the different languages from India. And we had Kantilal, so beautifully narrating his experiences about his, Seva experience in Sierra Leone. He indeed is a shining example or a role model and an inspiration for, everyone in this region on how to do selfless service. And Bharat Bhai so beautifully or so poetically, I should mention, shared his experiences about how his life has been kind of turned around by Swami, and how he has given back Swami's love in the form of service towards the Art Wall project. There is a long list of people that I need to thank, but I'll briefly stop there and apologize to everyone that we are slightly running late to the schedule, so it will be about 10-15 minutes beyond schedule that we'll finish. But please be part of the bhajans that we'll do now, and then followed by aarti and closing prayers. But let us take a moment to thank the collective effort of a lot of people involved in putting this event together. We should especially thank the organizing team or the host center, the Greater Manchester Sai Center, who have kind of set up the venue, taken care of catering, stage management, PA, and a lot of other stuff, ably led by Arvind Bhai and his team. Ashok Bhai, who was kind of tied up with Barnabas to help us do the Seva project and do this collection of important items for the Barnabas charity. Bharat Bhai for having facilitated this wonderful venue. Vinesh and his team for doing the PA and the IT and other technical things on the live stream side. And all the bhajans, singers and musicians for having come here today and given us the bliss of listening to wonderful music. So let us once again place our prayers at the Divine Lotus feet of Bhagwan Baba. Just one small announcement. After we finish, please maintain silence and make your way quietly to the dining hall at the back, where prasadam will be served. We will now finish with bhajans and aarti. Sairam.
प्रेमामृत बरसाओ बाबा प्रेमामृत बरसाओ बाबा प्रेमामृत बरसाओ बाबा प्रेमामृत बरसाओ दया करो भगवान दुखियों के धर्म उधारण भक्त धर्म उधारण भक्त
रक्षकरा
भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि नाम बिना हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं जप जान बिना योग नहीं जप जान बिना प्रभु दर्श बिना प्रज्ञान नहीं दया धर्म बिना सत्य धर्म नहीं भगवान बिना कोई अपना नहीं हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं हरि नाम बिना हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि नाम बिना हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि नाम हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं सुख शांति नहीं सुख शांति नहीं
Lord of the universe is here
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्ति महेश्वर ओम जय जगदीश हरे श्री वदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलती आश्रित कल्पलती समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु
प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरी विश्वप्रसीद प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरी वेदरूपिणी प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरी मन्त्रविग्रह प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरी